How to Write in 5th Grade, Volume 9 of 11, Copyright 2014 Luke Sullivan. A persuasive essay. Keep a school rule. You've written 2 persuasive essays. The goal of a persuasive writing is to get the reader to think critically and agree with your opinion. When we persuade someone, we use reasons, explanations, and examples to convince them that we are right. It is not sufficient to present information. The writing should push the reader in one direction. Here is your new prompt. Try to identify the words in the prompt which tell you that you'll use the persuasive writing structure. Your school is planning to revise its rules. The principal has asked students to identify the best school rules, the ones that should not be changed. Write an essay persuading the principal to keep what you consider the best rule. Here are some other words that indicate a persuasive writing structure is needed. Take a blank piece of paper. Take 2 minutes to write down all the school rules that should not be changed. Choose one of the rules. Now brainstorm reasons and big ideas associated with it. The threesome of reasons, explanations, and examples is at the heart of the persuasive essay. The reason and the explanation help the reader think clearly. They express the same idea in 2 different ways. The example is the opportunity for the writer to create an emotional response in the reader. You find a real-life example that the reader can identify with. I can use talk to my friends as one of my reasons. I explain that the teacher allows us to move around the room and talk quietly before the first bell. It's the same idea with different words. My real-life example tries to create an association with the reader's life. Yesterday, Sophia and I talked in the reading corner. She invited me over her house this weekend. I know what it's like to be invited over someone's house. I can identify with this real-life example. Choose 3 reasons that will allow you to give specific real-life examples that your reader can identify with. Write your name and date on the top of your persuasive writing graphic organizer. The top of your graphic organizer has a hook, issue, push section. This is the same opening paragraph you wrote for your other 5th grade persuasive writings. On the line for issue, write rules. Your principal has to decide on the best rule to keep. In the push section, write the rule that you want her to keep. In my example, it's get to school on time. Write your reasons on the lines provided in each of the big idea sections. Now take time to write details, explanations, and examples that correspond to the reasons you've written down. Remember to write as phrases or fragments. These will serve as placeholders for your ideas, which you'll later develop into sentences and paragraphs. Your school is planning to revise its rules. The principal has asked you to identify one rule that should not be changed. Last time, you chose a rule that you know well, and you chose reasons for which you could explain and give supporting details and examples. Before you begin writing your draft, you need to complete the opening section of your graphic organizer. You need to choose the hook that you'll use to grab the reader's attention. The technique we've been using is using an awesome fact about your topic. Take a look at some of these awesome facts about school rules. Choose one that you'll use for your opening sentence and write it on the line. Take a piece of the class writing paper. In the Writing Skills section, write reasons, examples. This is to stress that you're to focus your attention on the example. You're trying to find real-life instances that your reader will be able to associate with. This will create a strong emotional response. On line 2, write hook, issue, push. On the last line, write reverse hook. The first paragraph must do 3 things. It must hook your reader, it must lay out the issue, and it must end with you pushing your opinion. Take a look at your graphic organizer. The first sentence will be your awe-inspiring fact about school rules. Write down your awe-inspiring fact in complete sentences. This makes the reader pause and think, and then want to continue to read. The next few sentences lay out the issue. Take as much of this information from the prompt as you can. See if you can rewrite it in your own words, but using the words in the prompt is okay. The last sentence of the paragraph is the rule that you will push the principal to keep. Try to use strong phrases to present your opinion on this rule. Other examples are: write your opening paragraph. The next set of paragraphs is the central part of your essay. Look at your reason, explanation, example groupings. Determine which is your strongest and put a 1 next to it. Your next strongest gets a 2, and the third goes for the last. People disagree on how you should organize your reasons in a persuasive essay. Some people say the best reason should go first. Readers will lose interest in what you're saying and will only pay attention to the first thing you say. So you begin with your strongest reason. Other people say your strongest reason should go last. Readers only remember the most recent thing they've heard, so your best reason should go last. I think both are right, so you'll have to choose. For most writers, they'll put their best reason first, then their next, and they'll end with their last. But if your writings have an engaging style and easily holds the reader interest, you can experiment by putting your strongest reason, explanation, example paragraph as your last one. Begin with your second strongest and bury your third strongest in the middle. As you turn your reason, explanation, example groups into paragraphs, be sure to use organizing words. Here are some organizing words you can use to begin your series of reason, explanation, example groups. Here are organizing words that will link 2 reason, explanation paragraphs together. Here are some organizing words that signal to your reader that this is the last of your reason, explanation, example paragraphs. The last paragraph has to do 4 things. It has to signal to your reader that this is the end of your essay. It has to restate your opinion or position. It has to remind the reader of your reasons. And finally, it has to push your reader to your position. This is a list of words that show summary or result. Choose one and combine it with a statement restating the rule you'd like to keep. Now you need to briefly remind the reader what your 3 reasons were. You do this in 1 sentence. You began your essay with a hook and an opinion to grab the reader's attention. A reverse hook takes your opening sentence and restates it in a way to support your opinion. The reverse hook also has the advantage of creating a loop back to the beginning of the essay. This technique of a circular ending is another signal to your reader that your essay is over. You write your closing paragraph. Go back and reread your essay. If something doesn't sound right, fix it. Go back and look at the writing skills section of your paper. Do you give specific real-life examples that your reader can identify with? Does your first paragraph hook the reader's attention, lay out the issue, and push your opinion? Finally, do you use a reverse hook to remind the reader of your opening and to give them something to think about as they put your essay down? Good job.